Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking every single Bracket Busters card that came out today from worst to best here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. We're going to start off with the number 13 spot, the worst card in today's drop. Unfortunately, some of these pink diamonds this week are definitely pretty mid, and Steve Blake is definitely the worst of them. 6'3", 6'6" wingspan. He's just not super athletic. He's kind of undersized. He's not an elite level defender for his lack of size at only 6'3". Also, his release is just not that fast. Jared Vanderbilt base is not that good of a base, especially only on normal. So in general, he's just a pretty darn mediocre card, and I definitely think he is the worst of today's drop, because we're kind of at this point in the year where most cards that come out can kind of do everything at least some form or fashion at a certain level, and guys like Steve Blake, who aren't elite, just kind of get left in the dust. Same thing with the guy like Joakim Noah. Elite defender, really interesting, solid card. Very good playmaker, very good finisher. Card would be a beast, except his release is ugly, slow, and bad. Much worse than his Ruby for some reason. They changed his release and it's a worse one, which is really annoying. If he had a good release, he'd actually be a dog, but bad release and bad saves plus not great shooting stats or badges really holds this card back and definitely prevents him from being a much better option, so he comes in at number 12. Number 11 is going to be this George Niang. He's not awful, but he's not great. 6'7", kind of undersized to play small forward. I will say he's pretty good, but it'd be nice to see a little more perimeter defensive badges. Obviously on the defensive end, though, every badge on at least gold. And Hoff, anchor, brick wall, movable enforcer, post lockdown. Like, not a bad card. Great shooter, great finisher. Not super fast, not insanely athletic. Defensive stats aren't extraordinary, but very good shooter. Nice release, decent sigs. Not great, but he's not bad. He's not an awful card. I wouldn't say he's amazing, but he's definitely a step up from the previous two. Number 10 is going to be Mr. Kirk Heinrich, Bulls legend, 6'4", 6'6" wingspan. This card is also kind of, I mean, here's the thing. He's basically the same card as that last Steve Blake card, except he has much better animations and he's a much better defender. Much more versatile defender, has a movable enforcer, Huff, 94 feet, anchor, challenger, clamps, glass feet, glove, pick dodger, right stick gripper, so a ton of defense. Really good complete badges as well. Athletically, he's similar to Steve Blake, but he's an inch taller. He's got a much better base. KCP base is really good. Got good sigs, debug dribble style, Kemba escape, Wiggins behind the back. Those are all good animations. He's a really solid card. This Kirk Heinrich gets a lot of things, gets the job done at a pretty high level at the PG spot, honestly, and I actually think he's a pretty good card at number 10. Number 9 is going to be the last pink diamond, Rafe Lafretz. Unfortunately, this week the pink diamonds just weren't as good, but I will say Heinrich and Rafe especially are the two that are really solid from the pink diamonds this week. 6'11", 7'2" wingspan for Rafe. I understand he doesn't jump off the page and pop statistically. He's not an exceptional finisher. He's not insanely fast, but he's a pretty complete card badge-wise for a base big. He's an exceptional shooter with a 93 ball, but elite shooting badges and an amazing release. This Malachi Flynn base is just so smooth, easy, and consistent. It's just an absolutely jumper. He's just a much better version of this Wayne card, who I actually loved, and I think a lot of other people really liked as well. That's the type of card this Rafe Lafrentz is, though. He's very good. Can defend, honestly, at a pretty high level. He's even got Hoff movable enforcer. He's a good dunker, and he's an exceptional stretch big who can even put the ball on the floor a little bit. Definitely the best of the pink diamonds, but still, I honestly don't think he's better than any of the gambling cards that came out this week, which is kind of disappointing to say, but also true. Number 8 is Shane Battier. Obviously, he's a stud. Basically, all of these guys in the top 10, from Heinrich on up, are all really good cards, and Shane Battier is a great option. He's just not an elite playmaker, doesn't have very good animations. That's literally the one thing that I think, I'm not going to say kills him as a card, because he's still a stud. He's one of the best defensive cards, especially at the shooting guard position in the game. He's big at 6'8". He's athletic. He's got a pretty smooth, pretty quick release. He just doesn't have top tier sigs, in all honesty. Not a good escape, not a very good behind the back, not a great, really just not great sigs in general, in all honesty. He's okay. He's got a good drag back. Kobe dribble style isn't bad. Pretty good push cross. Nice release. Great defender. He's a very good card. He's an A-tier shooting guard. Really solid. Just not best of the best. And this list contains a lot of best of the best cards, so I don't think it's unfair to put him at 8. Number 7 is going to be Brandon Miller. I really like this card. Gameplay has not been dropped on him yet, but I did already record it. It will be posted tomorrow morning. 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan. He does a lot of things well, man. He's got really solid animations, but he's also really big for a shooting guard at 6'9", like I said. Really complete badges as well. Even has gold and movable enforcer, which I'm kind of surprised he's got, but also just great versatility in terms of the playmaking, the defense, the slashing, and obviously, of course, the shooting. 95 speed, 95 3 ball, 95 driving dunk, defensive stats stats are really good as well. Again, remember, he's 6'9". This card does a lot of things well with a lot of size. The shooting guard position, his animations are also pretty good. I'm honestly a fan. Brandon Miller's a very solid card, but I also think putting him at only number 7 just goes to show how strong the rest of this list is. Number 6 is Chet Holmgren, a 7'1" power forward who does pretty close to everything, honestly. Outside of playmaking, honestly. I know his playmaking badges are decent, but the thing is, I will say his SIGs are not very good. I did gameplay with this card already. You can go check it out. He's not bad. He's just not next level incredible, playmaking-wise especially. He's got a good release. I don't love the fade. Pro 3 fade, for whatever reason, it feels very different with him than it does with a guy like Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller's Pro 3 feels really good. I don't honestly totally understand why that is, but it's the honest truth. So I don't know. Chet is actually very good, though, as a card. I do think he's got, like, I don't know. I think he's a dog. He's really good. He's just doesn't playmate great, but does he really need to at power forward? Honestly, the answer to that question is probably not. So does it even really matter that much? No. Number 5 is going to be Mr. Who did I put at number 5? I got to remember. Actually, this is going to be an interesting rating. I think Adam Morrison is number 5. The upper on this card, in addition, well, really the upper affects the fade and his standstill jumper still. It's on very quick. He's got insane SIGs. He's an amazing card, but all of these guys are. And I don't love his release. I understand his stats and badges are incredible, but I will admit, there are better defensive cards, guys with better size at the shooting small forward position as well. And his animation's just as good as his SIGs are and everything, and as good as his stats and badges are. A bad upper kind of torches your release to a certain extent. And is his release bad? No, but it's not insane. And like, I do think there are 4 better cards better from today's drop, despite how good he is as a dark matter. Number 4, Psycho T, 6'9". I understand he's small at power forward, but he's insanely complete statistically. He's an amazing card. He's got great badges, and then not only that, he's got one of the fastest releases in the game. He has insane defensive badges as well, and his SIGs are top tier. Kemba Escape, really good behind the back. MJ Dribble Style, like super solid card. He's really good in a lot of ways, and I think Psycho T is just one of those top tier options at the power forward position in the game, and I think the release is really the main differentiating factor between a guy like him and a guy like Adam Morrison. That's why he gets the slight edge, despite probably not being quite as good of a card all the way around. Number 3 is going to be, I got to go Carmelo Anthony. I think it's Carmelo. I don't think Carmelo's top 2. As good as he is, and he is great. 6'7", 7-foot wingspan, pretty big at shooting guard. Amazingly versatile stats, near perfect across the board, and honestly defensively as well. I mean, even the areas that you would think Melo isn't going to be great, he is. Huff anchor, immovable enforcer, post lockdown, all the perimeter badges as well. He's an absolute dog, elite release, D-book dribble style. I still like Kobe Escape a lot. Behind the back could be better at Pro 2 fade, really easy, smooth fade. I mean, Melo's always a tough. He's always tough. He's always a dog. This year is certainly no different. But that being said, I do think there are 2 cards better. One of which is this Danny Ferry. 6'10", 7'2" wingspan. 2K has figured out how to replicate his 2K21 release as well. That base 98, absolutely incredible jump shot. And he has it with this Torian Prince base. Charles Bassey upper. That's very much what it feels like. Elite Nate Robinson fade to the left. Pretty good SIGs as well. Steph dribble style. He's got the good escape out of Pro, which is Jimmy Butler escape. He's got steps behind the back, which means Curry slide. And really great, obviously, insanely complete badges, elite shooter, finisher, and honestly defender and playmaker. He's just an elite all-around card. I think he's the second best card from today's drop. The best is obviously 100 overall Magic. You just can't really compete with a 6'9" point guard with a 7-foot wingspan and perfect stats and badges, which is exactly basically what Magic is. At the same time, Magic's base is not that great in his jump shot, so if you want to nitpick, you can nitpick that. At the same time, 6'9" with perfect SIGs, a perfect fade, and a okay enough release at point guard with perfect stats as well and perfect badges. He's the best card out of the drop. He just doesn't exist. I haven't seen a single Magic so far, which is absolutely crazy. But for anybody out there who might have pulled the card, he's insane. There's no doubt about it. He just literally basically doesn't exist. With that being said, that's going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.